Dear friends, the question is, can India-US relations be salvaged, or their partnership, which the two countries have tried to build up during the last 15, 16 years in particular, are bound to deteriorate in the weeks and in months ahead. Uh, Analysts both in Pakistan and India kind of, perplexed as to what really happened to warrant such a dramatic and sudden shift. Where President Trump is coming from, we all know. He strongly believes that the US has been wronged by most of the countries around the world. They have exploited the American magnanimity, so to say. Now is the time to make America great again, and the countries who have been taking advantage of the US generosity, now they must pay back. And in this regard, India is considered as one of the countries which has exploited US the US laws and regulations, and in the process have has increased its exports to the US manifold, whereas uh, US exports to India continue to be they are subjected to high tariffs and then protectionism and non-tariff barriers as well. Hence, uh, the US is at a kind of disadvantageous position, and that's why despite the fact that Prime Minister Modi went to the White House and had a meeting with President Trump on the 13th of February this year in the Oval Office, though the two appear to be great friends, but uh, President Trump is very clear as to how to go about things. And then tariffs are not being levied only on India, but across the board, if you see. But when it comes to China, the US is no doubt very circumspect, it's very careful not to upend things to the extent where it becomes very difficult to retrieve them. But perhaps President Trump thinks that he can exert pressure on India, hence he is going all out. And it's not only about tariff. Now he has made India-Russia relations a big, big point between the two, or between the two countries, in the sense that America, President Trump is insisting on India to stop buying oil from Russia, because India is indirectly helping Russia to continue its bloodbath in Ukraine. Uh, though India is still apparently on the surface is reluctant and putting up a brave face, in the sense that it has uh, indirectly conveyed to the US that it is not going to budge from its position. It will continue importing oil from Russia. But reports are also suggesting that during the last 1 month, India has indeed reduced the import of oil from Russia. Uh, but things are still kind of uncertain between the two countries, and one doesn't know as to where will this all stop. Meanwhile, India is also very jittery about US President Trump's inclination towards Pakistan, and Field Marshal Asim Munir's meeting with President Trump in the White House was something which India is finding it very difficult to swallow and digest, because that is an indication, because that meeting was unprecedented. Never in the history of the U.S. Had the president ever received an army chief or head like this, not only for a meeting but for a lunch. So things are getting quite difficult. But my own view is that perhaps this is a this Indians are obviously weighing their options what to do. Uh, First, they will buy time. Their own perhaps assessment would be that it is better now, to where the things are. It is better to uh, buy some time in the sense that they have to see whether or not President Trump can continue to be as assertive as he is at present after the midterm elections in November next year. And then, in any case, this is his second term, so they will have to. India has to, make at least ensure that things do not totally get out of control. But if they can manage next 4 years, 3.5 years now, it will be okay. And then I'm sure they have already analyzed, examined their own strengths and weaknesses, and accordingly they will move. But I think at the moment, President Trump is very clear. If India does not agree to some sort of lowering their tariffs on US agricultural products and dairy products, then things can worsen for India. And this is what the problem at the moment is. And one hopes, as far as Pakistan is concerned, we are happy that the way things are. But meanwhile, India is trying to, in order to build pressure on the US, is trying to reach out to China as well. And Mr. Ajit, the Global National Security Advisor, is in Moscow today, and he will be discussing many things. And we will see if India does reduce not stop but reduce the quantity of its oil which it gets from Russia. Perhaps India would be able to even salvage the Quad Summit, which is to take place in India next month. If things worsen, my fear is that President Trump may regret or may not agree to come to India for the next Quad Summit. So India must keep these things in mind, and whether or not it is in a position to resist President Trump's pressure like this. Biding time is okay, but the question is that $87 billion worth of exports to the US is it's not a small amount. India's total exports are slightly over $800 billion. So it is $87 to $90 billion if exports go to the US. You can imagine the enormity of the situation for India. So let's see how things unfold in the days and weeks ahead. But overall, I must say that President Trump has upended everything, and he genuinely believes that he has to put things in order for the US. Thank you very much.